Good morning, everybody. It's your boy Showtime Doctor. Happy Sunday, wherever you are. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So here's a topic I was eh, kind of mixed on it, to be perfectly honest. But there's been lots of issues with Epic 7, let's say. So I'll give you guys my thoughts on it, where it's gone, what the community thinks, etc. So, first of all, full disclosure, I'll be honest. I haven't like tuned out on Epic 7. But I am down to about playing every 3 days or so. I'm just like, the pet system was kind of the last straw for me as far as taking the game seriously as a main game. And it's even to the point now to where it's like, I don't even, I haven't even like, they force you to do the tutorial in the pet system. I quit out the game to get out of it. I didn't even get the first pet because I just thought to myself, you know what? I don't want to deal with another inventory, another grind system, and all that stuff. And granted, there's benefits to using the pet system, and if you're happy with that, great. But to me, I just ignore it and pretend it's not there. You know, whether I get 6.9 more percent of whatever, I don't give a fuck. Considering all the stuff that I already grind on that game. Um, the core, of course. Now, okay, let me go into it first. They got the upgrade, the last patch. Either that or it's this patch, whatever, where the gear system 2 times a month you can take a piece of gear that's crap and turn it into a piece of gear that might be even bigger crap. It might be great. Most likely it's not going to be because of the flat stat. So, like, let's say you want to change your boots, right? Like, okay, you got some 88, 85 boots, whatever. Okay, cool. Well, now it's a attack set or health set or whatever the fuck. And you get it. Okay, maybe you got your main stat, which in general is what most people settle for, percentage stats. But if you didn't get it and you got some flat stat or you got some main stat percentage that you don't care about, too bad. Oh well, try next month. Ha ha ha. And so it's just another in the long line of Smilegate just being like, we don't want you to have good gear. And it kind of flies in the face of, like, what are you doing with your time? In pretty much almost every game, even some gacha games, and don't get me wrong, there's plenty of RNG and gear and drops or cards or weapons or whatever the hell system you want to name, especially when you're playing a gacha game nowadays. But it just seems like, to me, game's been out over a year, considering I was playing on the Korean servers back in the day. And back in the day, like it was so long ago, but you know what I mean. And so I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, I can do everything right on the grind, and it absolutely won't matter some days. It's just like, well, yeah, you got more currency, you got a little bit more money you could spend to take your boots off or whatever. And it just gets to the point where eventually it's just like, dude, what am I doing? Like, why am I grinding so hard? Yes, I can get, and that's another thing that irks me about this game now, is there's so many freaking currencies. And it's like now they got that new summon thing with the light and the dark and whatever. This all might be great stuff and you guys love it, but it's just like I go in the store. All right, you got your arena currency, you got your friend point currency, you got your what's called from the raid currency, and I haven't even like scratched the surface on currency. You already got to measure or maintain multiple different inventories, multiple different this and that, and it's to the point where the economy is so tilted against the player, it's like ridiculous. You want to take your chess piece off that's level 85 and give it to a new character you're building up. Yo, that's going to be however many 100,000 gold, even more in some cases, like depending on the gear. And so, but that same piece of gear, if you want to just straight up sell it to the vendor, oh yeah, he'll give you like $1,000 for it. So it's just one of those like when I used to play Final Fantasy 1, um half was what it was. So if I bought something for 4,000, I could sell it for 2,000, and that was good enough to make some headway whenever I needed to get gear upgrades. At least, you could use a piece of gear until it was time to move on, and you got your value out of it. But this game, good pieces of gear are just very, very, very. It's like a diamond in the rough or whatever. So as far as well, actually, let me read this here. stuff. So this was a post by Mr. King Dragon on the Reddit, the official Reddit here. So let's get into it. So no offense, but this community is on the barricade. This is kind of in response to Epic 7 has an official stream going on YouTube at some point, which I could give a damn about. Might want to get in touch with the problems the community has and how best we can achieve an understanding and improvement to the quality of life that is actually becoming a hazardous, toxic level on Reddit, Google Play Store, and Stove. Still, thanks for the event. I'll make sure... This is sarcasm, if you didn't pick it up. I'll make sure I use up the snacks in a day's worth of hunting, because they're giving you 10 snacks per day now for the dumb auto system. Oh boy, can't wait for the level 85 speed boots with 3 flat stats, then I can plus it up to plus 15, and find other level 85 gear that I can plus to 15, and then use the gear conversion to most likely get another level 85 boots with only 2 flat stats. And all that for a week's worth of farming hunts, farming millions of gold, and somehow getting energy out of my butt. So, that's pretty much been everybody's main gripe with the game right now. So it's getting a little out of hand. And it's just, as an old school gamer, and I know guys, my olden times, but as an old school gamer, it's just like, you work hard so that you can improve. And in this game, it's probably, if you really filter it, probably a good about 85% of your effort pretty much goes into crapper for the most part, as far as what you're doing and what's going on with your account and what you actually get out of it. So, if you guys didn't notice, the Epic 7 average score has dropped down to 3.7, which a while ago it actually wasn't... It was somewhere in the realm of maybe 4-ish, whatever, 4.2. And so we'll read a couple here. So, fun for a while, but it's gotten frustrating. Way too much RNG on everything. Lots of currencies, and some of them are barely used. Gold is a real issue. It's used in everything, but you barely get any of it. Love the animation and designs. Those are on point, and the character drop rates are better than other gachas. Even a pity system, but if they focused more on game mechanics and the currencies, people would be... Totally lost it, there it is. More people would probably spend on it because it becomes a long-term hobby, at least I would. And then we got the game's really not great, nice animations, voice acting, gameplay, everything's smooth until the game decides not to have decent connections to the server. Blah, 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 hope you fixed the bug, blah, 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 blah. This game is really cool, 1-star rating. The characters are very cool, the art is very cool, but the endgame of this game is atrocious, I agree. 4 layers of RNG to get any equipment. You'll have to grind hundreds of hours to get decent equipment. There's that point on the game where you don't want any new characters because it's impossible to gear them. Sad but true, right? Sad but true. Let's see here. You will never have enough gold for anything, and it seems like they're actively trying to kill the game with every single update they release. And then you get the stock answer from Smilegate. Hello, thank you very much for playing Epic 7. We are sorry that you had unsatisfactory experience. We will forward your thoughts to developers for future improvement. And that same copy-paste answer is under most things here. Anyways, so Cobalt Blue here. It's a gacha game, so you know what to expect. It's easier to get the rarest characters due to Mercy system. That isn't all bad. However, to make them usable, to make any progression in the game itself, it's an absolute grind fest of getting gear through running the same thing over and over and over again for months at a time. A classic Korean MMO grind fest. That's another thing I need to get into. Would not recommend this game currently at the time. Yada yada. Another 1-star here. I will change it to 5-star when the game is fixed. First, I want to say I love the art, animation, execution, and gameplay mechanics. They are extremely immersive. The game is a blast until you finish story. The gold costs to do anything in the game are absolutely ludicrous. There's no way to make enough to do what you need to do, even with constant farming. In-game content is nil. I love this game and its potential. Please fix this. I'll read a couple more. This game was finally heading in the right direction, but they constantly give us empty promises and lies. The endgame is terrible. Spend a decent amount of money and get most of the units, but guess what? The gear grind is awful. I can't even gear half of them. And even when half of them, oh god, that would be a pipe dream. Even when you have enough gear, you can't upgrade it because getting gold sucks too. They promised more hard raid bosses. It's been months without any changes. They released a word boss. That's absolute garbage. That's another thing I tuned out on. And the pet system is terrible. Copy paste Smilegate reply. Wait, this is the last one I'll read. Edit, I'm in games now, and unfortunately, it's not great. I feel like the biggest issue is the resource block. You can't even gear up enough characters to experiment. Also, the updates that the devs are going through feel like they don't play the game themselves. I don't feel they understand the issue the players are feeling. Sadly, I'm let down. Awesome game, super awesome visuals and effects. Definitely having fun with it. Actually, okay, one last one. I see this one here. Howie F. I've been playing E7 for 6 months. Since summer 2019, the developers have been hyping some much needed new content. It recently came out and it's been really disappointing. Account progression's even slower now. Nearly everything requires grinding and new features require a lot of in-game currency. Game rarely rewards players for strategic decision making. Although game continues to be visually impressive and developers don't seem invested, it's a fun experience for everybody. 1 star, 2 stars. Okay, so I'll get off that now. So here's what I'm gonna tell you guys. If you're not having fun with the game, go do something else. Like, this isn't like a super hard thing. I've done it. I still play the game enough to be able to like, know, okay, that's what's going on, that's what's covering. This is important, so I'll cover it for the community, and then I'm out. Like, I'm pretty much done at that point. Everything's just a super grind. Gear, all that stuff, that's already been mentioned. Now, I have to admit, guys, as much fun as I've had with Epic 7, this game has kind of put me off the Korean grind mentality. Anytime I see a Korean gacha, like you all are starting to hit me up about Exos Heroes, which I'm going to make a video about later. I hear that's a Korean gacha, and I immediately have like a withdrawal syndrome, and I'm like, oh god. It's like a very light PTSD to where I'm just like... Because you know when you get a Japanese grind system, you know, it's still grindy, but it's not crazy. Just like Korean grind system, it's like, this is sandpaper. Okay, you got 10 gold. You know, it's like that. And I'm just to the point now to where it's just like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this every day? Why am I doing this every day? I'll go on and do it a couple days a week and then be done with it, because I'm not having fun. And at the core of video games, once upon a time, before it became second and third jobs for everybody and family heirlooms, we used to have fun playing games. Like right now, I'm actually on my channel, on my Twitch channel, I'm going through Suikoden 2 again. It's fun as hell. I put 6 hours into it. I'm probably maybe if a fourth, probably like a 6th or an 8th of the way through the game, and I'm just having a blast with it. And it reminded me, like, wow, I remember when games were fun and you could grind a little bit, but you didn't have to go crazy. And nowadays, it's just like, everyone has to be optimal because the information's out there, and I try to help you guys with that and save time, but sometimes it's just like, you know, you could just go play the game. Like right now, I'll show you guys on my phone what I'm playing. Guess it's a little bit harder to show. Well, anyways, Last Cloudy is the game I'm having the most fun with in the top left there. E7's there. KC is actually doing a little bit better. It's a side game mostly, though. I'm investigating Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. What's it called? The tactical version. That one on the left is World Flipper. World Flipper is fun as fuck. Pinball game. I'm gonna make a video about that later, too. And then KOF All-Stars. I'm liking that game as a side game right now, too. But yeah, it's just like, I start to have PTSD when I hear these things, guys, and it's just like, it's actually permanently put me off. Like, I really gotta measure when I want to play a Korean gacha from now on. And, you know, in a way, it's sad. But in another way, it's just like, free! Like the end of Cowboy Bebop. Where it's just like, okay, I don't have to go through it anymore. I'm good. But so anyways, what I would suggest to you guys is, if you're not having fun with Epic 7, take a break from it. You know, you could still log in, do like all the minimal stuff, and then be done with it. Go play an older game. Go play a game you've heard is good. Go play another gacha game. Try stuff out. See what you like. Conquer some new horizons. And, you know, it's kind of, you don't want to have like that ex-girlfriend syndrome or ex-boyfriend syndrome, whatever you are, to where it, oh man, really hot, really awesome, really great. Oh my god, bitches at me too much. Oh my god, wants me to change my entire, you know, have fun mentality and, you know, just basically make sure that, whatever you're doing in your leisure time, have some fun with it. Don't just do something just to do something. That's my advice to you guys. And for me, I've started to look beyond, and you know, there's life after the end of the tunnel there. Anyhow, yeah, it's just too bad. Too bad. It's gonna take like a confronting thing because what I can already tell you what they're gonna do, guys. Because Smilegate, they've been making this game for over a year now, so they pretty much, if you're at the point where you're mad at Smilegate for being Smilegate, I hate to tell you this, you're a fool. It's just the way it is. They've demonstrated to you how they are. With all the hunt changes, the abomination, that's the pet system, the raid system, the world boss, and then now with the gear conversion thing and the way the gold is and all the different various problems and issues you could have with the game. That's there to stay, and when they come out with a fix for this, guys, and a fix for any of the stuff that I just mentioned, it's gonna be some bullshit. Oh, we fixed it, and they didn't fix it. They've done that how many times to us? And like even Hunt now, like Hunt, it's still for what you're doing. Like imagine all of the golem monsters and the wyverns and the banshees. You would have wiped the dudes out. You would have had genocide by now, trying to farm gear from all those people. If I was a banshee, I'd quit being a banshee. I'd go be a gypsy. Like that's pretty much how things should work there. So, anyways. But yeah, getting mad at Smilegate for being Smilegate. Here's the thing with Smilegate. I'll briefly touch on this. Smilegate has gotten to the point to where Epic 7 will make them, barring, you know, the community being extremely pissed off, and they're not there yet. They're getting there, but they're not there yet. They're still making $1 million a week on this. And basically a little less. I think it's right around 3 million total per month. So unless they have an incentive to change, it's kind of like how Blizzard got when World of Warcraft came out. Like they got fat, they got happy, and then eventually quality starts going down. And now we got all these other projects, but these projects, you know, they're getting slowly fulfilled, and then it's not quite what it should be in long term. So now where Blizzard's at the point of, oh no, everyone's pissed off at us, and we're under-delivering. We got projects, but they're still years and years away. And all their other various mess. Smilegate, they're investing in a lot of things, guys. They got that Lost Odyssey, the Diablo clone that's doing pretty well. Over in Korea. They've also, I think it was for Bethesda, but I forget who it was, but it's at E3. They released some crappy Overwatch-looking shooter that they partnered with whoever in America to do. And it's a pretty big company. It's a AAA game, even though I think it's crap. But maybe people will really like it when it comes out. And they're looking to expand into the AAA market in America, guys, and make that money. So that's where all that money's filtering off to, is all their various projects. They got minimal staff now on Epic 7, and they're pretty much looking at their next projects. Which, as a company, is fine and healthy, but Epic 7 is what kind of allows them to kind of be the parasite. Suck up all your money. Okay, yeah, throw them some bones. Tell them we're gonna fix it. Alright, back to my my gambling over here, or whatever I'm doing as a developer, and you know, they're not gonna change, guys. And you can yell at them, you could do that, but they'll change things temporarily for the better, but then the next thing they come out with will just be worse. And that's just the mentality. So pretty much all I got to say on the topic, guys. If you're not having fun with the game, do something else. If you're having fun with the game, play the fuck out of the game. This isn't rocket science, right? If you're having fun with certain aspects of the game, then precision surgical. Ignore the stuff you don't like as much as possible, and just keep playing. That's what I'm doing right now. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me, guys. As soon as the next, they got that one hero they data mined, the priest or whatever lady. As soon as she comes out, I'll get you guys some guys on her, or any other crazy thing. World boss is a waste of time, in my opinion. Have fun with all that stuff, so I'll see you guys later on. Peace.